Patiphan flexing onto the Viper here and foxz onto the Jet. Now, a big benefit, obviously, foxz had a fantastic map 1, so potentially here, going to be able to on an agent that suits it a little more. But again, for me, it's the consistency in that front line, and we'll talk about that as we come into Haven here. Again, no real surprises on the side of FNATIC, as sort of expected them to adopt this comp and carry it through. But yeah, it's, I mean, I come back to it. There was just too many rounds where, you know, the conditions were Patiphan finding an entry and then having some follow-up in terms of X10's frontline. And it just wasn't there for me on a utility basis or kind of a, you know, positional basis. There was never anything to double down on any of the early round work that they did do. And I say that, it was only really like call it a 25% success ratio. So even on those rounds where they did find entry, there was just nothing to secure that.
Okay, it's got to be do or die time for X10. They're staring down now, a map advantage against them. And for FNATIC, this has to feel kind of good to shake off that last game, to get their heads back feeling confident moving forward in, of course, a very similar map pool to where they got defeated. So this for them should be road to recovery, potentially at least in their confidence, if they can close this out cleanly. However, X10, we already had foxz turned up a little bit. We need the rest to be able to meet that sort of caliber because he has been popping off. The rest, though, are a little quiet on map 1. Yeah,
and I guess once again, the key stakeholders here on defense, at least in terms of information gathering. Hold that thought. Sushi actually gonna get peeked on B here. Doma will actually come out on top of that massively in terms of the damage. They're going to reset back towards Garage, at least deal with some of the utility here. So this is the sort of thing I was just about to start talking about. It's reacting off of this early information here. And foxz actually will find first blood. Derke will fall, but FNATIC set up elsewhere. It's the perfect contact to give them.
This is great for a beginning.
Taking that back.
Now where does the lean come in towards? Boaster going to take that garage control, but then back away from this for now. Look towards that B site. Still a utility on the way in. It's a very slow piece going forward. They're not making any noise with this so far, trying to navigate their way around as quietly as possible.
Ooh.
30 seconds left.
I love this.
Crws is watching the CT push, so he's aware that, of course, B is open for business and someone could potentially come through, but keep in mind how far away foxz is. Crws needs to stay alive. The flash is pretty good for at least one. Did get the blind as well towards Doma, but MAGNUM's on the trade, so already the site's going to be under control. They've got to be aware of foxz, and it seems as though they are. Yeah, MAGNUM's on the case for that. Now, Spike planted, though. The retake's still got some legs to this. Don't think it's over unless Boaster does more of that. No, Patiphan quickly shuts that down before that became any sort of problem. Mystic still towards Hell, and it's just Mystic. Tries to turn the own flash. Knives out, baby. Let's go. Mystic! It's 2, but sScary calms our worries, and X10 gonna get the pistol.
For a moment there, when he's able to still throw out that flash, I'm like, no way. Patiphan comes in swinging with the knife to try and close it out. Again, good presence of mind, though. Again, with the early information, MAGNUM immediately after they find this trade onto Crws, MAGNUM immediately comes across to address Suez, knowing full... I'm glad we caught that as well. Again, if he finds that kill a little earlier, maybe he can reset, actually, for that final kill onto sScary. Very much doable there. FNATIC actually going to invest back into this. Yeah, look at this. 3 Spectres, the Marshal coming out.
That's a pretty comparable purchase. That's not bad at all. foxz could be in trouble, but derke taking a little bit of space, but it's Boaster who might be leaning in on this Doma, ready to try and set this in motion.
Oh, he's going to wall the wrong side.
And here we go. foxz, how much damage can you do? One's good. He could have done with maybe a little more, but straight through. sScary and Crws just going to lock that down. Perfect play from X10, instantly nullifying any threat that could have happened towards B.
MAGNUM will find Sushi, though. He'll get hunted down. I know exactly where he is. Patiphan going to post up, and we'll find the final kill. That really, really good setup there from X10 again, anticipating the hit and run, I guess, execute onto B's site and putting foxz there with a judge. Only good for one, but the cleanup was perfect here. Coming through from A and C link at the same time, actually.
Yeah. No hesitation on that. Everyone just piled on in. That's a great response from X10 to instantly lean towards it. No holding back at all, and FNATIC will be put in the pocket for a little bit, on the economy at least.
So they can't carry across this, so Sushiboy actually only with a ghost here, but if he could just play distance, it should be fine for him. He's going to be tucked onto the back of C's side, and FNATIC actually looking like they want to force all the way up through the utility onto C. Derke will immediately find him. Scarry will trade, but more to deal with.
Yeah, but Scary's not taking any damage. No time for reload just yet, but gets a little fadeaway on Mystic. Still standing, still doing work. Now, where's the next bit of danger going to come from? Anything from Doma? Yes, he does find foxz. Now, suddenly, he could have done some damage, but no. Patiphan, great positioning, making sure to maintain. No threats. Damage was there, but the round is X10s. And at this point, I think just getting in that motion, getting in that flow state, getting themselves a couple of rounds on the board after Icebox is exactly what they need.
They get damage done, yes, but well, they carried across 2 Spectres, the Bulldog, and the Ghost coming in and feeling themselves after that cleanup. Yeah, and that's good to see after getting picked apart on Icebox to come back in with the right energy and get the first 3 rounds on the board.
It's much better. foxz quickly on the op though. Heard the Sky Flash pop. Patiphan gonna fall away from this for now. Had a little bit of a look towards sewers, but decides to not go for that much more. And you can see that kind of eventual fight potentially happening on A-Long as well, but FNATIC have a couple of challenges to just try and get this map control to build.
If Crws saw anything there, but derke already tucked opposite sandbags here, so could get caught off guard. Creep comes through, and actually Crws will escape for the time being. Blind will slow things down a little bit as well, as there's nobody coming through sewers here. It's everybody stacked on long if they decide to force through. The good thing is actually nobody else from X10 giving anything else away on the other side of the map. As FNATIC now going to throw a little bit of utility down, makes me think they're going to try and force through as 5 here onto A side.
They managed to pull away 2 of the flashes, now 3 from Crws, so he's going to have to try
No
and play
info off
this.
that. Look at this.
30 seconds left.
And this rotation? There's no one on A. They're all biting on this Mystic fake and just sending in the fake flash as well, keeping all these players that they can walk onto the site completely scot-free. That's unbearable for X10. They had 3 players here. They were all in the right place for this. And the retake's going to be rough as well. Mystic still got that flank. He's still holding map control.
It's on the back of Crws getting no audio cue off that flash. No information gathered, or at least the information they think nobody's there. And Mystic's timing sells this fake perfectly. X10 now got to break through with a 4v5 retake. FNATIC already set up everything in place to hold this now. derke already causing problems in heaven. Will get dealt with.
There's no player in hell either. Interesting post plants here. Doma could get isolated depending on MAGNUM on the swing from sight. Takes a fair crack of damage there himself, down to 17 HP, but time. And foxz with that op, he's probably going to want to try and keep that, but Doma's now going to cut off the retreat. foxz is in a little bit of trouble. Oh, he doesn't get away either. Good catch from Doma there, just to cost them that op. Picking it up if they wanted, opting to not go for it this time around. They're happy with what they've got.
I love that timing as well. If FNATIC actually read that perfectly, it's like, yeah, did anybody get blind? No, we can immediately creep on the back of this and actually probably get close enough to hear the audio cue of them falling away, right? So right there, Mystic's got all the information he needs to work on. He needs to throw out the flash, throw the seekers in, and then as soon as only one of those goes to C site, and you know, a couple will split off towards garage or whatever, then it's literally the perfect fake from FNATIC. Dealing with that information perfectly. And like I said, I mean, you look towards a couple of players of X10 to be the stakeholders in terms of map control here and gathering information. Right there, FNATIC pivot perfectly on it.
Now, ult did just come up, and we saw that being picked up by Patiphan there, so he's going to pop the ult, try and keep control of sewers and slip back towards A. Still a 3-play stack towards A as well, coming out from X10. FNATIC, however, exploring options elsewhere. derke not shy on showing presence, but has to be cautious. There was a little bit of a play out on long from the jet on the other side, so derke again trying to maintain a little bit of presence, but joining the rest towards that C side.
A little bit of a set piece here. Is MAGNUM lining up this nano swarm. Mystic going to try and clear through some of these close angles in cubby. coming through just yet, but doma with the pinch actually will find Sushi, and now sScary got to be very careful. Isolated on backside here, and doma will clean him up as well.
Yeah, that isolation coming in through garage. Doma with a bit of a wide step on it. Patiphan, though, dragged back away. Can't do exactly what he wanted. Still finding Doma, but look at this. foxz has to do some big work now. Even Patiphan going to be called upon in a 2v3. Now, the spike's yet to be planted. That's in the hands of MAGNUM right now, being dragged towards side. But Patiphan, he's ahead of this. He's going to get the freebie. Denies the spike plant. Quick trade, though. Now the 1v2. foxz can still do this. 13 seconds for the plant. There's a player in the back coming of sight. derke says no. FNATIC convert. And with the 2 standing.
It's super unlucky for Patiphan, not able to escape there. Does deny the plant coming through, but they're so split. Unfortunately, I mean, I could say as well, foxz potentially needs to time his push at the same time there. Patiphan has no option to get out, and I don't know what Sushi was doing there. He completely caught sleeping inside garage. Didn't even react to doma walking up.
Spike down, C.
Really, really nice round from FNATIC. Yeah, a good response. Gonna 2 back on the board for themselves, and actually X10 on a funky buy here, and FNATIC looking to change the pace.
Oh, the flash. Just Boaster was so ready for it. Utility was there as well to try and slow the hit, but derke now going to fill the void. And this is just FNATIC striding through towards the site here. This is going to be hard to handle. The flank gets caught. foxz found. And now it's down to the 2, and playing retake on these weapons is never fun. So when the spike plant goes in, you can kind of put this one in the pockets of FNATIC, unless derke massively overextends. But no, he's keeping his composure here. sScary now might be just forced to try and catch a couple on the way out, maybe do whatever damage he could, but now noted. It's just not a nice situation to be in, is it?
A bucky in hand, it's not what it used to be, that's for sure. I don't think FNATIC are even going to give him the consolation. Should leave him alive, actually, here. Okay, maybe clear him up. An opportunity to punish the economy even further, force him to carry that bucky across into the next. It's almost like the most shameful thing that can come out of that is being forced to save the bucky.
Never nice, is it? With the space, FNATIC are finding it. They're not being held up at all. This confidence from Icebox seems to have been carried into now the gun rounds at least. But we do have the buy coming back out for X10, so if there's going to be a time to stop the rot, it has to be now. Because keep in mind how these rounds have gone down. We had the force from FNATIC in the second, so you expect that knock-on if they didn't convert it. So the first 3 kind of get put down almost as that pistol round, as in a weird way. But once these rifles have come out for both sides and the break on the back of it, X10 have kind of been struggling a bit. Let's see what this goes down like. Already an early investment of the ult here.
Yeah, foxz is drifting down C long. He might catch one, but it's a triple P comes through there. Does find the first, but traded. Doma find that one will get MAGNUM straight back on his feet.
Yeah, there's utility here, but there's no one to stop this or utilize it. derke's already worked his way forward. Patiphan has no idea. derke is just thriving in no man's land. He is just claiming it as his own. And once again, X10 on the player disadvantage. Sushi, sScary, and Crws going to try and find ways back in, but that was a quick hit. There's still plenty of utility with FNATIC. Ball goes up. derke just going to be sitting there, funneling them forward, just dodging bullets like Neo. No problem. Tapping away. Keeping them back, biding the time. Seeker's coming out as well. Big investment for X10. Now, timing on the reload could work out, but no. Mystic on the bailout. derke's still alive. sScary not looking so threatening until now. Comes alive, gets 3. The final player. Would he expect it? No. Mystic pushing up aggressively to find him. And it's going to be another for FNATIC, even though X10 did get close.
Came very close, and I mean, on the back of that investment, rightfully so. And down the Cosmic Divide as well. Pretty late on during that retake, actually after the Seekers get thrown. FNATIC were just good enough control. And again, it's a similar thing to what we saw on Icebox. That's a really good use of the wall here to create just another choke point. Also, Boaster gets caught in that lurk actually pretty early on. Usually in these sorts of executions, we look towards Boaster to be that late round presence or the game changer for FNATIC, and it didn't end up mattering this time. I think actually as soon as they find that lurk kill, right, they can kind of be a little more aggressive, get stacked up a lot closer because they know that they have no flank threat to worry about. X10 actually going to call a timeout here with FNATIC pulling 1 round ahead. The buy's not pretty, Lauren. It's I mean, it's no real surprise, but once again, there just seems to be an inability to kind of deal with the early round pressure. And again, one thing you look towards is certain players kind of being on point with their rotations, kind of finding early information, backing away, knowing when to, you know, give up a site and play a full retake. But FNATIC are just so good at setting up a strong post plant that, I mean, even there where it goes, you gotta say favorably for X10 in the first, you know, 10 to 15 seconds. FNATIC just play numbers. It's just a trade back and forth, comes down to a 1v1, and the players on FNATIC right now just on point.
And I don't want this to necessarily deem that X10's individuals aren't good. Like, how many times have we seen Patiphan having great rounds, or in that previous one, sScary, foxz in the last map? So many of these players are great individuals, but you got to be that collective right now to be able to take down FNATIC, it looks like. But a fast flash through middle, potentially. Nothing massive off the back of it. Pretty quick build towards A-Long, and as you highlighted earlier, the economy's in a bad spot for X10 here, so if they can get anything out of this, that'd be fantastic. But Boaster ahead of the flash, plays into it, does not care for the birds, and now derke are going to take up that space, and once again, they just take so much early map control here that they can fall away from this. They've done brilliantly already, getting a little bit of a top-up as well, and they can re-aggress when needed. You can see foxz trying to find that room, and it's just derke's very aware right now.
It maybe comes through to try and retrieve that weapon. I think foxz is the only one that didn't purchase anything.
Toxin screen down.
Yeah, FNATIC still cautious in approach. Yeah, this is when that paranoia starts building. FNATIC trying to abuse these rotations. So you're gonna come through. Patiphan will find one. Boaster trades it out though, and there you go. A site on a platter for them.
So many bodies still up. There's the wall as well. Just having so much utility to make this hard as hell to play back in from. Speaking of the double stack down there too, Sushiboys. It's gonna have a brutal time trying to make anything out of this. No one offering anything up either. You can see the discipline on FNATIC right now. Yeah, MAGNUM and doma can be the first ports of contact. You can see them trying to clear that. Not gonna quite get what they want. Instant pressure comes back in. Good connection there towards MAGNUM. They still have to clear out that now triple stack in hell. Oh, this drop down's not pretty at all. Nope, Boaster. There's the first, the mad leap out from sScary. But FNATIC are fine. And this is road to recovery for them. I think, once again, take what you want from that loss to Sentinels. I think most of us put... I'd say... I don't know if I'd say most. I'd say a lot of people did predict FNATIC to go to that lower run after seeing, look, if you're facing Sentinels, these guys are on point, but this is the first real time we've got to see FNATIC beyond that now. We get to see what they look like after the back of that quite big loss. And something we often said about them, at least coming into this event, was that they do well having to build back in. They're good at learning from mistakes. They can pull this one back off. We questioned whether or not it'd work with these younger players, but at the moment, this is confidence building. We do have the buyback in, though, for X10. It looks like Patiphan wants to get involved.
The two members, actually, drifting all the way around. The flash goes through, though, so both Crws and Patiphan at least noted in terms of the audio cue there from the flash. It's on derke and Mystic really be diligent if they do decide to push through. Elsewhere, three members of FNATIC pressuring towards garage, maybe trying to pull out a rotation once again. With one flash left, but Mystic able to clear through with close angles should he choose to. And just look at it. I mean, X10 have to respect this. They're backed up so deep. Nobody even playing inside B. They're all huddled towards C-Link here. And they're playing so deep on site.
derke can punish this double stack on long. They know it's there. Yeah, derke's perfectly read this off the back of that Sky play as well. Mystic does get caught by it, but now Patiphan's trapped. He's trying to get himself out of it. Derke denies, and that's huge. That's now the side theirs. But look at the spike. It's on the way, but there's going to be a bit of timing on this. 30 seconds. Maybe sScary can cut off these rotations, make it maybe manageable for X10. It's a big amount of pressure on him, but they've just slipped away in time. He's lost that window of opportunity. His position now noted, and foxz can't make the play back in on this alone.
Spike planted.
I don't even think he can with the teammate. sScary now backing away wisely. I mean, at this point, you got to hold on. X10 have to get something going. And even in the rounds early on there, like I said, Mystic finds the audio cue off the flash to note that somebody's on long. And they're given so much time and space for derke to move through sewers. It's almost like just like not respecting the Viper setup, right? It's like, yeah, I'm gonna walk. I'm just gonna walk it. And the problem being, I mean, FNATIC are barely investing any utility in terms of stalls. So once they're getting onto site and getting these plants, the retakes are just rough. Like, it's always with the wall. I mean, even now, look, doma's still got the wall, right? So even if they didn't find these kills, they'd be able to get up, set up comfortably on site. Nobody can contest the wall before it can reinforce it. It's just, you talk about this sort of composition having so much stall on defense. The same applies for the post plants here.
Spot on. And this is going to be the question mark that we put to whoever makes it through the lower bracket. Is, I guess it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And FNATIC are bounding back here. This is what, 6 in on the trot now. And we haven't quite seen the reply yet from X10. They've tried a couple of switch-ups, getting aggressive on the extremities. None of it's paid out. As you highlighted perfectly there, this is where they've got to stop it now. Otherwise, again, the buffer's going to be so slim, so marginal to work with on that half switch. It's going to be very hard to bounce back into it. So we've got to see a little more from them. FNATIC still, though, going through the motions. They've definitely had the run of A, but it looks like a switch-up's come in.
That's going to play a much deeper setup. With Sushiboys rotating over, I guess on the back of having that lockdown, which has been online for a while here. I've got to highlight it. X10 need to build a plan around making that, or putting it to use at least. So with this readjustment, hopefully that's what we're going to see. Another set piece coming out from FNATIC, at least a little bit of utility involved. Derke going to come all the way up onto site, and foxz actually will find doma and sewer here, but site control in favor of FNATIC comfortably.
This does give it a little bit more leg towards retake at least. foxz can be a nuisance, can be a problem. MAGNUM really wants to dig him out of this, and I don't think foxz is aware of it. No, he's not at all. MAGNUM finds him. Ult can go down if wanted, trying to get that timing just right. Seeker's going to go through, and X10 were postured for this. Both ults coming in now.
Yeah, and again, MAGNUM's has gone down later, so there's nothing X10 can do to close the distance. Derke actually is going to ride it out because he knows. Again, the second lockdown should protect him. sScary will find one. Actually, a man advantage now as a 2-for-1 trade comes through. Mystic going to respond.
Crws, maybe. He's got to get that speed going, though. He can't wait too long. He's still got utility, but he's banking it on being on sewer. If he's not, he's on the close box. He gets down MAGNUM, but time now. How do you dig the final player out? Mystic just has to play the clock. The shoulder peek's in, the jump peek's there, and he's done more than enough with just that little bit of movement in the end as X10 once again gets so close. But it does not matter. FNATIC win the round. It's 7 on the board.
Yeah, it's just not an awful lot that X10 can do differently there. Like I said, it's just such a good execution from FNATIC. Again, they isolate foxz. They know that they have enough site control where they can invest 2 players literally to just go hunting. And there's no counter pressure comes through. Nobody is able to push through because they're setting up for this lockdown. The call right there from Sushi is, no guys, wait, I've got lockdown, stay in A-Link. We don't need to come through and challenge. So it's almost like foxz, even after first blood comes through, he said to the slaughter, there's nothing they can do to keep him alive.
No. And you can see the money. Again, the economy's been harsh for X10. Even in the rounds, they've been getting close on not getting away with guns, no benefits, but Patiphan trying to make the difference. Sheriff by the side, expecting the swing from doma, but he can't deal with it. Crws, though, pounces. Good work. Spike now dropped. Aggressive burst comes out from X10. Maybe that's what they needed. MAGNUM turns the flash and turns the kill. Gets Crws down. Tries to convert towards Garage as well, but it's a mad battle to retrieve that spike. And finally a 2v2, but none of those guns were recovered. foxz has the ult. And he's... Oh no! Oh no! Only one! A couple of missed knives going astray. Leaves derke with a chance now to close out in this 1v1.
derke just anticipating if sScary was going to come through and try and find a weapon upgrade, but he hasn't. He actually respects it. Backs all the way up onto C site. derke going to have a free plant here and an opportunity to play very, very aggressive.
Spike planted.
All the time in the world, and sScary's still on C long, Lauren. It's going to take so much time for him to come through. He's going to be running. He's not going to have time to walk here. This is all playing into derke's favor.
He's got a Spectre. I think there may have been more down there, but divide coming out.
Yeah.
derke now needs to kind of play without the audio cues, but it doesn't seem to matter too much, at least to this. sScary can get close towards the site, and derke going to take the time. He spotted him. Derke's just going to play him like a fiddle. This is nasty work. Derke can just play it out, dips in, does have a look. Scary, great work, but he doesn't have the time. He tried the best he could. He gave it everything he had. But in the end, Derke just played it to the second.
Just toying with him, with that divide going up. I was going to say again, it's that divide going up almost gives Derke a secondary layer of, you know, playing a much deeper angle than he would be from Suez. So, yeah, it's a really tough round to watch. I mean, foxz unfortunately misses the first. Only good for one from the window. FNATIC on the brink of closing this out. 9-3 on the half. Decent purchase coming back in, though. It's the only saving grace, really, for X10 here.
Oh, foxz just full taking that, but great pick. Denying Derke freedom. 4 would be a gateway. It would be a start. It would be enough to suffer through a pistol loss, potentially, which is maybe what they need here. MAGNUM going to build off the back of that flash. Can at least force him back for a second. No, good work again from Sushiboys here. Nice punish on MAGNUM. He knows more pressure could be coming through towards Garage, so going to go for the adjust back around towards the C site. So far, so good. Ticking the box for X10.
Well, they readjust here. Expecting, or at least scary expecting, for FNATIC to maybe pivot away, and it's Boaster. Always the one that lurks into B. Doma's posted up outside, though, with him. We'll go through. Gambles correctly, and Doma with a perfect counterbeat. Scary. We'll be very, very careful now. Actually, that's giving them the revive here, so it brings it to a 4v4, Lauren.
Where is that spike as it stands? Still in the hands of Mystic, as they do start to build towards that B side. Scary isolated a little, but now he's got pressure from both fronts. He's going to be boasted to punish. You're going to have a look down towards the C site. Connector now controlled to an extent. Mystic with a quick plant. foxz on the way, but 3 players on the playback. Always tricky to play retake with ops, but let's see what foxz can do. Opting for the rifle above it. Both still at the back of site, being a nuisance, being a pest to try and clear. foxz needs to find a way in. The double stack as instantly comes around. Mystic doesn't allow it. Patiphan tries it. This is a shutdown. FNATIC maintain. Large and supreme. This is just them in control here.
Switching sides.
Yeah, nothing that can stop them. Really, really convincing. Even the rounds that, again, right there, X10, they get their big win condition, right? They deal with derke in the early round. They find the first blood, and FNATIC are able to just completely control the pace of that round and swing it back in their favor. X10 are kind of itching to make a move throughout that round, and FNATIC able to just exploit that. Look at that. I mean, other than we could talk FNATIC and pistol rounds another time, but come to round 4 onwards, and it's dominant.
Yeah, it is, and X10 need this. They picked up the first 3. There was the force in the second. If you're just tuning in, it was a good start for X10. Maybe a little bit of hope that we had managed to find in potentially there being a turnaround, but now you're starting to see it looking like this could be the curtain call for them in this tournament, as FNATIC looking now to continue that lower bracket run on 9-3 map advantage as well. X10 have a mountain to climb.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, come back to the same things that we kind of talked about before this series started. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it. You know, a couple of things we highlighted that were the big win conditions for X10. They just haven't gone their way at all. And really, I gotta say, you know, as well, foxz having a fantastic map 1. Look to him on Haven to do some real work on the jet. That hasn't worked for him. Again, good opportunity here with the side switch for maybe that to become a possibility. But I just also haven't, fundamentally, I haven't seen enough from X10 where, you know, there's utility to back up that front line. Like I said on Icebox, time and time again, it's just not being invested correctly.
I'm with you. And see the juggling going on. Hand warmers everywhere.
These spirits are still high. Come on.
It's hard to not like X10 as a team as well. They've come in and had...
Yep.
I mean, the win over, was it Crazy Raccoons to get to this point as well? Yep. Was pretty solid. And Crazy Raccoons pushed, who was it? Version 1? I believe so. I mean, they've played well, and it's not over yet. There's a whole other half to play out, and it's round by round, right? Kill by kill, step by step. It can always happen. But in their way is a FNATIC who looks like they have a point to prove. I think that's the main thing here, is that they got pushed down to the lowers. Anyone coming into this bracket, when you looked at it, when you saw who their opponents were, thought this could be a possibility, and I'm pretty sure somewhere in their heads they went, yeah, that might be the case. And it's going to be an arduous journey, but they've kept it clean so far.
And again, I mean, one of the terms I used before this series started was FNATIC come back to their comfort zone, and this is when we see them play best, right? And it's kind of crazy to think that, you know, there are a lot of things that went wrong versus Sentinels, and having those early fact-finding rounds that, you know, I want to say investing derke as a whole, as his own entity, right, to kind of try and figure out Sentinels. Right here, they can invest him time and time again because he's finding kills. They don't even need to look to that secondary layer of, okay, how do we adapt based on, you know, what happens with derke, what happens with Mystic in the early round. There's nothing. It's just he's finding value left, right, and center. Everything they do, even if it goes wrong, they have the contingency plan, and they're able to follow up on it and convert.
And I just see Boaster, I'm just waiting for the next clip to make it to Reddit. I'm just like, every time I see a camera near him, I'm like, okay, what's he gonna do now? The guy constantly putting on a show. But it does seem as though there's just like a couple of tech issues, so they're gonna be hopefully picked up and fixed as soon as possible.
Aww.
Damn.
Do you know what? There used to be something where we just put Patiphan and Boaster in a room and just
see what happens.
Film it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the fact that we have players having fun. I mean, this is highly competitive, right? Tournament life on the line, all of this, but you get to see the personalities behind the players, which I'm going to say at some esports really don't have. So it's kind of cool that in Valorant we get to enjoy that. We get to see it from the very first tournament. Some of these players.
No, I actually, I saw
just putting on a great show. I love it.
I saw a discussion of somebody. It was almost like like an arena studio appreciation post.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm so glad we have the players facing each other. And you know what? I actually thought about it. I was like, yeah, fair point. Actually, how many times do we see it where it's just a bank sat up next to each other? You know what? Some of the player cams have been fantastic. Thank you, version 1. But just even this being the first kind of cross-regional, to have this environment as well, it's fantastic to see.
It really is. It's been an incredible event so far, and we're not even towards the real pointy end of the stick, I guess you could say. That's the big part of it. Yeah, there really is. Between these two, though, it's one of those games that's, being brutally honest with you, hard to kind of find depth in, because FNATIC are performing on a higher level than X10, and there's no need to sugarcoat the pill. We're, you know, we tell it how it is, and the win conditions for X10 are pretty vast at the moment, and they need to hit them fast. But Boaster, any more clips?
That's the secret handshake, right?
Here we go.
Oh,
wait.
Oh no, we're back in game. That was
ready?
was a sit up straight. That was a sit up straight. We're back in.
I do get nervous. There's a classic thing, right? And we'll let you guys at home in on the secrets because we're filling time. When you see players like put the chairs back, headsets are off, you know it's going to be a long pause. And I get nervous. If headsets go off, instantly danger. Because you know the admins are normally straight on them like, put your headset on. But it does seem as though, look, I'm seeing like postured up, they're leaning in. Here we go. We've got the screen tan coming in. We're back into game, and it is 9-3 still on the second half here. FNATIC with a dominant performance to begin with. However, the pistols have been a problem.
They have, as Boaster will fall off the rip here. I'll swing out of double doors. Magnum there to greet anybody else looking to follow up on it. And actually, the turret going to get dealt with, and it's 4 coming up long here. Magnum got a lot to deal with. We'll find the first. It will be traded out by Sushi.
Derke's going hunting, and the timing could be just so perfect from sScary. Just turns around. You can see it knife out now. He's just trying to close that gap. But Spike is going down.
Spike planted.
Now he's got good positioning here. Now sScary's going to at least consider this. Yeah, turn. Good timing there. Spots out the utility coming from corner of sight. Spots one on the site and knows that sScary's there. That's big information garnered just from derke, but he needs Mystic and Doma to do some work from CT. But look at this post-bomb positioning in Garage.
Should lean away from that. Again, a 1-for-1 comes through. Sushi will find that. Doma will respond. Good opportunity. I mean, oh, we just needed to catch Sushi there, but he's going to find one more. Derke falls. It comes down to a 1v1.
Sushiboys. He's tried to play the timing. He does it so well. Excellent round from him to claim the perfect start for X10 going forward.
I think doma still had the wall there as well. Again, difficult in that 1v1 situation to get it down and find value from it. But potentially, if he has a little more time and space with Derke not falling, doma could have set up that wall and really, really difficult to break that through that. Fantastic round from Sushiboy. They're finding that initial trade on the entry up C long. Good work from him. Again, clutching out this 1v1 as well. Nice little 4-piece from him, and another pistol round slips through FNATIC's fingers.
Feels FNATIC, man. I mean, welcome. What are you gonna do? For now, it looks like a little set trap towards C, just stacked up, right? Just off the back of maybe some contact and a pop flash from Mystic, potentially. Boaster going to try and bait him in. I don't think... I hope they're not going to fall for it. Nah. Bit of a laboured spray, but Crws will convert towards Boaster. Don't make me nervous, foxz.
I'm getting nervous. That's okay.
No.
Thank you. Yeah. Derke got the tag there. I was like, I think he's low, so I'm just going to send it. This whole time. Oh, no.
Wait, that's spike.
Magnum's found a spike.
Down A.
Okay, it's okay. Fox is still alive. It's okay. Magnum. Gonna hear these steps. See a lot of players coming past. They don't check it, they don't check it. Oh god, he gets one. Okay, it's fine. It's still fine. It's still all okay. 35 seconds and doma is gonna be on the site. Now keep in mind, one of these players is pretty far away. That's for... Oh, no way. Doma. 1 HP in a dream. 25 seconds in a 1v1. Jet is on the way. Foxz is trying to come over. Patiphan up and over he goes. Finds doma, and it's all gravy. It's all good. There's never a problem. There's never a problem, Hypok. Don't worry about it.
I glanced up to the minimap and I was like, Foxz is literally in Narnia right now while all this is going down on A site and he's only 30 HP. Oh.
Okay. It's okay.
Well, first two on the board. That's a start, right? And actually, looking back towards the Crazy Raccoons series, at least on Haven, X10 did have a stronger attacking half. So,
That's very true.
let's hope they can continue this, but build a little momentum in the early rounds, get some of that economy online. That's not what you want to see. Derke, gonna find Sushiboys right off the rip. That's
Just
right here, top of
straight down,
default.
yeah,
going for the orb, I think.
Oh, doma, so much pressure. Nice work from Foxz to try and capitalize on that fallback. Mystic with a good trade, but now he's going to be controlled towards the site itself, but gets himself out of it. Now, they've lost that timing or maybe that quick hit they could have gone for, capitalizing on some of these picks, but as it stands, Crws is going to back away from this.
Mystic going to get a little more information off that. Again, this was riding through the economy. 3 Spectres on the side of X10 here. Weapon advantage definitely in FNATIC's favor. Bass goes out again, not going to find anything. And Boaster, similar situation to what we saw in the half.
Good flash.
Oh, actually, here comes they don't check that. Crws, though, will find Mystic.
It's on a knife's edge, but it's being kept together okay. Magnum only gets 1. This isn't tradable either. Boaster, though, still alive on long. I'm amazed he gets away with that on Patiphan. Now sScary trying to push through towards CT. Gets claimed by derke. That was close. X10 could have... I felt they could have done even maybe more with that, even though it was a bonus round. FNATIC are going to get to 10.
I mean, with no information on where derke is, it defeats me why sScary doesn't stack up and just hard clear Boaster. They know that they tagged him up on the cross. They noted that he went towards long.
Ooh.
I don't get it. I don't get it. A little bit of a misplay there. Maybe the pressure really piling on here in map 2. Again, they're fantastic for the clearance on the way in. Yeah. And again, on the back of that flash, again, similar situations to what we saw in the first half, right? No audio cue off the flash, and they swing immediately on it.
Is this gonna be a straight walk? Oh no. Derke, this terrifies me. If he starts getting a little frisky. getting nervous. Yeah, he's trying to re-peek into that foxz. Absolutely denies it. Going to quickly take the space that derke was trying to play with, and he's actually going to push further on. That's pretty nice from foxz.
Like
That's a lot of room garnered. Yeah, MAGNUM has no idea. Boaster could even be predicted. No, but he does stay alive. But great damage from foxz there off the back of some good space. But doma just absolutely Ferraris it up mid. Now the spike's still to hand with Sushiboys, so they still got a good chance on a spike plant here uncontested.
Enemy remaining.
Seekers come out, reveal Boaster's position. He reads that one wrong, unfortunately. Gambles on the wrong way. Mystic, the last man standing here, and X10 on the brink of actually putting up a nice round here. Mystic will find a constellation in the form of Crws, but quickly traded out by Patiphan. Now, bigger picture, I mean, ultimate progress way in favor of FNATIC. Even though these early rounds have gone the way they have, they found enough kills to make it worthwhile at least. And I gotta say, even with 2 surviving there, it's not as clean as you want. For X10 to really build any sort of buffer here, they need to be coming through and winning flawless rounds or only losing, you know, 1-2 players max. Yeah, look at this. Everything except Boaster, right? 2 away from the cosmic divide.
There's every opportunity now for X10 to try and drag this back. They have 6 rounds, and derke has done that to them. They've taken away foxz, okay, but still, keep in mind the other 4, all rifled up, geared up, but they have no one really watching that back. You can see the paranoia in their mind starting to build. They've had to kind of change things up, investing the killjoy ult as well on this.
Go down the nano as well, but no real follow-up on this just yet.
No.
It's a little late, if I'm honest, to come through. Hopefully doesn't get punished.
Who's that in garage? Is it Patiphan?
Yeah.
That's pretty big positioning. If he gets this right, there should be no problems here. FNATIC may be looking just to try and do some damage, get these guns away at this point. Seeker's going in as well. Okay. Patiphan's position kind of gets a little bit of its efficacy removed, but it's dealt with in the end. He does a little bit of damage. No way, doma, don't be doing this. No way. He's sticking this one. No one's taking him off it just yet. Doma is getting away with murder. He finally gets taken down. X10 having to put everything. Mystic, he sits it, but no. Big deny comes out from X10. It was close.
We've seen something similar from FNATIC before, right? The only thing missing there is the cosmic divide to make sure that the wall can reinforce and it can stabilize there and tank a little more damage. I mean, and that's on the back of, I gotta say it, you know, Sushiboys gotta be the one, and I understand it because the lockdown is what they're trying to, I guess, make sure that they can get control of B side from, but there's no control in the early round, and if you've done any homework on FNATIC, you've got to come back to, on Haven, on defense, they're very proactive in A lobby. So to not have that flank control there and invest a player solo with no contingency at all, if he does fall, it's a little weird to see. I mean, it doesn't end up being a factor there, but it's just these small kind of adjustments that I want to see with the utility and positioning from X10 that just makes it feel a lot safer. Because even there, they won that round. My God, was it close. My God, was it close.
And you're right, like, we've seen, you know, with the Astra ult coming in as well, like, coupling it together, what can actually happen. So it's that, not necessarily, I guess it is the next layer of that piece, but you can see how dangerous it is just with that wall on its own. So, good work to X10 to, I guess, keep composure, question mark? It got a little bit scary. It's a round on the board, right? Let's kind of roll it back to what it is. Looking at the second half, it's now 4 rounds garnered, 1 response from FNATIC. Yeah, we know what pistols are like, but these are now gun rounds. This is the meat of it, right? This is, you know, the lettuce, the tomato, Dan. It's, you know, we're really going through all of it. This is everything that they needed at this point. So, forcing the tactical out of FNATIC's pretty solid.
It is, and I mean, ultimately, to economy-wise, to break that momentum and go 2-1-2 in terms of the round timeline, sorry, is a big win. Yes, FNATIC back on their buy now, but again, great opportunity to break the economy once again. It's 10-8. You can bring it within 1 round. It's only 3 rounds now, and now bear in mind, it was 9-3 on the first half.
We might have
a big investment, actually.
I'm getting excited, High Fox. We actually might get a bit of a game. I was a bit worried after map 1. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, the other thing as well, investment-wise from the ultimates, it's going to take FNATIC a couple of rounds to get back to that position, right? And you talk about when you have such a huge lead, you can't just ride out until you have a round where you have all 5 ultimates up, and you can literally just like bully a round win, right? To either stop the momentum of your opponent or just kind of cheese out a round. Now, with that investment there, the Seekers come through, the Blade Storm, Boaster's one away from his Cosmic Divide, but really, I mean, if the stars align again and X10 tries something similar, then it's going to be difficult to have the same kind of effectiveness with that ultimate. It's going to take FNATIC a couple of rounds to recover from that. If X10 can now pile on the pressure to what they've already done early on here in the second half, it's going to get really interesting.
Game on here. One more and they're right on the verge. The money's not perfect for FNATIC. They're, you know, it's these kind of hit and miss buys, these kind of on and off ones. And we've got the quick flash towards middle, going to try and force away this peak. They just countered derke's over-aggression so hard. Mystic, though, doubles down on this. This is a messy rifle round. And FNATIC trying to just play this fire-based game. MAGNUM somehow got Patiphan there, but Sushiboys with a quick trade.
What is
this
that?
is just, look at this round. Look at where they are taking this fight. It is all on, like, attacking side spawn almost. And now here comes the change-up. Sushiboy's going to take that spike right towards the site. Doma's going to have to lean back away from this now. And you're going to have foxz tucked down at the bottom of mid.
Yeah, going to be able to reset for us a couple of nanos on the spike as well. So Boaster and Doma got to be quick here. Now looking at where the FNATIC players fell, no opportunity for the res either. So X10, if they can remain composed. No wall either. Was used in the early round. And the clock ticking away here, Lauren.
Doma going for the res on his foxz. That's a freebie. Oh, great work from Doma though. Just body blocking it. Oh my word, Doma! Out of nowhere! How does he do that?
Okay, yeah, he has got. I was going to say for a second there, I thought maybe came through a little late, but baits the res perfectly. The timing on that swing, you can see the cogs turning for foxz. He's like, when do I reveal my position here? When? But Doma, absolutely perfect. Perfect. Coming up huge for FNATIC to stop that one. And do you know what as well? The nano swarm, it almost makes it, what was it, 1.1 seconds?
Yeah.
If that nano swarm's just a little later, it keeps Doma off again.
I mean, this is the margin between these two right now. This is a second's difference. A couple of choices, a couple of ults coming online as well now for X10, so make note of that. And Boaster going to post himself up. It was derke getting Aggie in mid last time. Boaster this time going to go for it, but already losing out. Mystic, really nice mid take coming out from X10. They seem very well prepared for this now after that last dabble of aggression. They've been winning out on this first step, but there are plenty of players from FNATIC here. MAGNUM in the ult with Patiphan. Doma up on top. Divides there. This is a heavy invested round. MAGNUM does get the better of Patiphan. And now this is where the pressure starts him out, because look at where the spike is. Over towards that C side, and derke's on the other side. Sushiboys waiting just more in a traditional spot. He's going to step this. Yeah, Seekers go out, but he couldn't quite get the shot as cleanly as he wanted. A trade was there for sScary. And now the 2v2. MAGNUM, brilliance, but now foxz called upon against Doma. Tries to catch him early. The slows there. The tag comes out. The spray for Doma again! Big Daddy Doma clutches this one up out of the chair, in the faces. FNATIC making it onto 12.
Back to back for Doma. Putting 2 huge rounds on the board here. FNATIC on 12 on map and series point. Massive stuff from the youngster. Wow. And again, everything goes right for X10 now. I feel like this is such a good hit. And they pivot away from the aggression perfectly. MAGNUM finds Patiphan. At that point, they have to respond quickly. They have to readjust. And X10, like I said, they do everything right there.
He's out of the chair. He's loving it. They're on 12. And X10 have been pushing hard in these rounds. These have been clutches. These have been individuals just kind of closing it out. But this is an A piece we haven't seen in a triple stack on sewer.
Yeah, it's not typically how we see FNATIC pressure A lobby or fight for control here. Definitely a little different, but already derke coming across here. It's going to be a 4th.
Killjoy out comes in as well. Derke on the other side of this, going to see him above it on the wall going up. Doma going to back away now. They've done as much as they can in the time they had. Mystic.
Oh no, Mystic can stay.
He's got a bit of a corner to play with here. That ain't bad. He can be real quick to this, but Doma even faster. Finds Sushiboys. And now the 2v3, and it's X10 trying to just hold on for their tournament life. Mystic can only get one, and they cling on off the back of Patiphan, shutting out Mystic.
Okay. But the stops on 12-8 now, the score. A real back and forth round. I thought there would maybe Mystic makes a sound, and whoever that is playing deep, I think it's Sushi that's playing all the way deep in A lobby, catches that, but hey, I criticized the set pieces and the executes.
Happy.
That's another one right there, Lauren, that really impressed me. That's to counter the stack. That was a 4-man stack from FNATIC.
That's a really good point. It was a massive investment. foxz, speaking of investments, all out walking mid right now. And the money's shoddy from FNATIC. They're down to bits and pieces. Marshals and sheriffs. Nothing much. And there is heavy armor actually behind derke, so eyes on him, I guess. But foxz, how much space has this man got?
If he doesn't catch this C long or the garage, I can say, yeah, he will spot out MAGNUM. I can say it could get a little dicey there. Sushiboys will double down. Find that. Again, this one.
It's got to be clean.
I say, yeah,
Very
really nice.
Beautiful stuff. It is.
Trying to thread the needle.
Yeah. So, well, back down to the old classic. Not going to happen. X10. Huge round. Clean as anything. That's 5 alive. Everything they'd want.
I mean, we talked about, obviously, the recovery from that round previously, and FNATIC now back on 4 ultimates, and it's the key playmakers, right? The Cosmic Divide, the Lockdown, Resol. I mean, only the Bladestorm invested there. They have the Seekers to boot. This is the one really expecting FNATIC to weather the storm and take control here. On the side of X10, nothing left in the tank, ultimate-wise.
derke is struggling to make it away from that. You can see him taking a chunk of damage off the back here. Has to fall away, bailed out by the flash. And a little bit of map control garnered early. But you can see the response over towards C long. It's Boaster trying to go for a walk. They want aggression on both sides of the map. He's going to post himself up, allow them to stack out towards A, and the Seekers have gone out as well. So Boaster's in a world of trouble here potentially, but they've got to check on this. They've got to check on this Boaster. He's been found. He's gone down, and now it's the site open and available. It doesn't matter about the divide by now. They're going to be on the side. They're going to be planting this one out, but MAGNUM, he's ahead of this. He's trying to get around this one as quick as he can. No, Sushiboys, huge denial. Great work there, but the answer comes back in. Mystic out of nowhere, and it's just Patiphan. No way did they just do that.
And it's Doma again, coming up massive in a round for FNATIC here. And again, everything goes right for X10. The execution is perfect. They isolate Boaster. They try and come through. MAGNUM even dipping his toe before site control has been relinquished.
Is this the voice? Are we getting the voice, really? Is this trademarked? Are we allowed to show this? He's in. He's been approved of. There it is. They've made it through the first